Hello and welcome to the top 10 PvP characters on Bleach Brave Souls. This is by far the most requested list, as well as absolutely the hardest one for me to make, so I hope you enjoy. Also, in an effort to control the upcoming rage, please keep in mind that even if a character isn't on this list, it by no means means that that character isn't good in PvP. You can still make it to head captain without using these characters. That said, let's begin.
Kami Shini no Yari, Butou Renjin.
Coming in at number 10 is Gin Ichimaru, Captain Edition. This guy not only has a really high SP, but also Frenzy and Poison on everything. But that's not why he's on this list. After all, Lost Agent Soifon also has Poison on everything, and her SP is even higher. The reason Gin's on this list is because of his fast activation speed, which not only lets you get off damage first, but also gives you the opportunity to interrupt the opponent's strong attacks. And you know, the debilitating poison also helps. He also has a Soul Reaper killer, which is arguably the best killer to have right now, and a strong attack damage link, which for an SP character is the best possible thing. At number 9 on the list, we have Tecton Kota, who not only has the two best killers you can possibly have in the game right now when it comes to PvP, but also a boosted damage reduction link, which has become increasingly popular lately for some strange unknown reason. In fact, all of the characters with a damage reduction link have become increasingly more useful lately thanks to a certain character that may or may not be on this list later on. But that's not the only thing that makes Kota great. He also has a decent attack and SP, as well as Frenzy, and can inflict status ailments on all of his strong attacks, one of which is 160 mag, which is a great thing to have when you have Frenzy. So yeah, double killer, Frenzy 160 mag, and the best link for PvP. What more can you ask? Well, what a coincidence. This guy also has a 160 mag strong attack and a boosted DR link. Granted, Ryuken's 160 mag strong attack is nowhere as useful as Koga, because he neither has Frenzy or a high SP. But what he does have is one of the highest attacks in the game. He's also ranged, which means he can start doing damage at the start of the fight, instead of having to get closer to an opponent. He has a Soul Reaper killer, which again, best killer to have right now, and he has a human affiliation, meaning there are no killers that are effective against him. In addition to his ridiculously high attack, he also has a plus 50 bruiser. Unfortunately though, while he is still really good in PvP, most people are just using him as a link these days, which is a shame because he is really well equipped for PvP. Next on the list, we have Noitora Gilga. The new one, of course. The old one sucks. Unless, of course, they can somehow fuse them together and... Never mind. Noitora may not have damage reduction like the last two characters, but what he does have is the highest defense in the game. Now, while strong attacks do bypass defense, normal attacks do not. And I don't know if you've noticed, but lately PvP has kind of been dominated by normal attack characters. And Noitora is one of them. He not only has a decent attack, but also a normal attack damage link. He has excellent range, excellent speed, and flurry, which makes his normal attacks hit twice. We'll be seeing that all later. In addition to that, while his special may not be anything special, no pun intended, it does inflict defense reduction, which can then allow Noitora to do an incredible amount of damage. Coming in at number 6 on the list is Lost Agent Ichigo, who dominated PvP for a while. He has a really high SP, a pretty decent attack, and strong attacks with incredible range and super fast activation times, which once again is incredibly important, and is really the only reason he made it on this list instead of so many other characters with higher SPs. He also has Frenzy, as well as a strong attack damage link, but other than that there's not really much else for this character. He's just good, and he does being good really well. Coming in at number 5 on the list is the character that would have taken number 1 just a month ago, and for very good reason. He not only has the second highest SP in the game, but also frenzy and a ridiculously fast activation time. But what makes him the most dangerous is the fact that he has freezing on everything he does. And with such incredible range on his strong attacks, it's no wonder why everybody hates to go up against this guy. Especially because with that hollow killer and the strong attack recharge link, he's much more suited to be a PvE character than a PvP character, as those two traits are for the most part wasted on PvP. Still, his freezing is unbelievably useful against opponents who have poise, as it's one of only 3 things that can really stop those guys, the 3 being freezing, paralysis, and death.
Bankai! 陸上天元妙断崖上へ
And at number 4 we have Manga Sachi, who has the second highest attack in the game. Not only that, this character has both flurry and poise, and he's a mind attribute, which means he will always do at least neutral damage. Other than that, there's really not much more I can say about him. He's just a gigantic beatstick, and if he uses a special, he has a gigantic beatstick. Get your mind out of the gutter. Unfortunately, he does have an Espada killer, which while it can come in handy, there aren't that very many Espadas left that are relevant in PvP.
その力の名前はね、挽回だよ。
Up next we have manga Kenpachi Zaraki, who not only has the 3rd highest SP in the game, but is also the very first SP character that happens to have poise. This means that out of all the other SP characters with frenzy, he is the only one whose strong attacks cannot be interrupted unless he's frozen or stunned, which pretty much puts characters such as Gin or Ichigo, who rely on interrupting strong attacks to survive, out of commission. He also has a strong attack damage link, which makes him all the more deadlier, and a Neuronkar killer. And if for some reason his strong attacks don't do the job, he could always use his normal attack, which is pretty decent and also cannot be interrupted.
どいつもこいつもトロトロしやがって行くぜ
And coming in at number 2 is the character that not that long ago would have been placed way earlier on this list, Lost Agent Kenpachi Zaraki. With the addition of certain characters, this character has become increasingly more relevant than he already was. He has damage reduction link that can be stacked up to 76%, and he has a decent attack with poise and flurry. In addition to that, he's also team player because his strong attack 2 is the boost attack that not only deals damage, but also increases the attack, defense, and focus of all the characters in that team. This guy also has a pretty decent defense, which while again cannot stop strong attacks, it does do pretty well defending him against normal attacks.
Bankai Mina 雑境はこれにておしまい。
And at number 1 is the character that has a lot of you writing in the comments right now I totally called number 1, Kenpachi Yachiru Retsu Nahana, whatever you want to call her. This one was the one that we all knew was going to be number 1, let's be real here. She not only has damage reduction like the other Kenny, but also the same high defense. Her attack speed is much faster, she also has poise and flurry, she has the highest attack in the game, her strong attack 2 is a heal move that heals her and the entire team, and her special has a chance to instant kill, in addition to healing the entire team for 60%. She also has a captain killer, which while in the past that wasn't that big of a deal, these days that covers 60% of this list alone. And not only is she good on her own, and can defeat entire teams on her own, but the very fact that she exists makes some other characters way more relevant than they were before, such as the Blue Kenny, Koga, Ryuken, and Noitora. I for one am excited to see if K-Lab is even able to create a character that's better than this in PvP. And that's it for the list. Be sure to check out the explanation video linked in the description below, where I go through the thought process of why I picked the characters that I picked, because believe me, this one was a tough one. I also want to give a huge thanks to everybody who helped me film this gameplay, because I don't have all the characters. So thank you guys for that. That said, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next top 10 video.